Mr. Rehn, thank you very much indeed for speaking to us. We do appreciate you taking the time. European markets seem to have continued the global sell-off in shares, with investors worried about the Eurozone debt crisis, about contagion. What are you doing to ease these worries?
We are working day and night to ensure the implementation of the agreement of the 21st of July, which will mean both continuing fiscal consolidation in the member states of the European Union and at the same time reinforcing the financial backstops, that is the European Financial Stability Facility, and making it more flexible and thus more operational in overcoming this kind of crisis.
But we're now seeing Italy and Spain coming under increasing pressure in financial markets, with their bond yields rising very sharply. The response that you described doesn't seem to be working.
There is, I'm aware of it, there is a perception in the market now that it's hampering confidence, and I would want to encourage everybody to stay calm and breathe deeply, and especially look at the economic fundamentals of the countries concerned. Both Italy and Spain are taking very firm action in terms of fiscal consolidation. We have just recently reviewed their plans and decisions, and they are implementing a program of fiscal consolidation which will ensure them meeting the targets of coming to the fiscal deficit of 3% next year, and for instance in the case of Italy, reaching a balanced budget in 2014. It's essential that both countries ensure rigorous implementation of these consolidation measures to reach the fiscal targets, and in parallel continue and intensify structural reforms to enhance growth and job creation in their economies.
Mr. Rehn, the fiscal consolidation efforts you described, does that really go far enough, given the level of turmoil that we're seeing in markets right now? It seems that investors are increasingly concerned about economic, political governance in the Eurozone. It's crucial now for Europe to be speaking with one voice, and that's not happening.
I agree definitely that we have to at least have one message for Europe, and that's why we need more rigor in communication, and we need verbal discipline, and that's very important in order to reinforce confidence into the actions and economic governance of the Eurozone.
So then what is happening to improve the communication in that sense? Because it seems to be now very fundamentally a political problem. People don't know who's in charge. So what measures are you taking to that end?
Well, that's rather a matter of each and every leader and individual and institution. But I think we have all learned our lesson. This is to be taken as collective self-criticism, and I'm sure that we will be better in terms of verbal discipline in the coming days and weeks, and broader in the future. At the same time, it's very important that we reinforce the reform and reinforce our economic governance in the Eurozone, because currently we have perhaps somewhat say clumsy and cumbersome procedures. Partly it's understandable because we live in democracies, and that is a price to be paid, because we need approval of 17 governments and 17 parliaments for any say milestone decision. But at the same time, I think it's fair to say that we need to consider how we improve the working methods and enhance crisis management capacity of the European Union, and especially of the Eurozone.
In the climate that we're in now, it doesn't seem to be enough to say that we're considering this, we're reviewing that, we want to speed up the implementation of the agreement that was made at the end of July at that emergency summit. It seems as though the markets are so troubled by what's going on. what other steps are you taking to calm the markets? Because, you know, to sort of use the language of, yes, we're going to review this and improve communication, and what else can you do now?
Well, we are doing all the time. I mean, we are working day and night in order to make the European Financial Stability Facility more flexible so that it will be better equipped, for instance, through precautionary programs if needed, for instance, through interventions in the secondary markets if needed, and for instance, through financing recapitalization of financial institutions if needed. All this, of course, under certain conditions which are specifically defined. This work is going on, and we have daily teleconferences, meetings, and I expect that the technical work is ready in early September, and then we need the parliamentary approvals in the member states of the Eurozone. That's one work stream. Another work stream is of course in the countries concerned, and for instance Italy has taken very important decisions on fiscal consolidation in the course of this summer, so that it will meet its fiscal target of 3% deficit next year and reach a balanced budget in 2014. These are not only words, these are concrete decisions which are being implemented. They are in law already in Italy.
Okay, so if they are
but more is needed, especially in the field of structural reforms to enhance growth in Italy and liberalize the Italian economy and reform the labour markets as well. You
mentioned the EFSF. Can you tell me then when it will be able to start buying government bonds on the secondary market?
My expectation is that we will be able to conclude the technical work in the coming weeks. It is indeed not a matter of months, it is a matter of weeks. It's a very complicated, complex, technical and detailed task requiring unanimity of 17 member states. So it takes some time, but we are working day and night in order to achieve that objective. And this work will be ready in early September, and I expect that then very soon after that we will have the national approvals from the national parliaments.
Given the instability that we've been seeing in the markets, Mr. Rehn, is a few weeks simply too long at this point?